Hello and welcome to today's screencast. I would like to show off this new package that I wrote some time ago, and I've been using it quite successfully to extend my vocabulary in learning the Dutch language. The package is based in Emacs, and it does spaced repetition and flashcards. What spaced repetition means, it's a method which was quite popular like decades ago and quite popularized also with the super memo. There's a website for that with the articles and the description, and here I basically just implement the simplest super memo 2 algorithm. Basically it schedules a question for you today, and if you answer it well, then the next repetition will be scheduled much further into the future. But if you answer it poorly, it will be scheduled sooner into the future, so you keep the stuff fresh in your memory. And okay, so what I did first is I accumulated a database of knowledge, like when I encounter some sentence or some word that I haven't seen before, I record it in my org mode file. So here it is. And the way I organize it is I put expressions in one outline here and put the cards in the other outline here. A lot of this stuff I got off the, how it's called, Duolingo website, which is quite good, but I don't think that they get the spaced repetition part of it right. Anyway, it's a pretty good website that I recommend. So for instance, we have here the English version, and here we have the Dutch version. So if I was doing it in a non-spaced repetition way, I would just open the file and say, okay, how do I translate this into Dutch? Then I maybe say it in my mind, and then I open the outline and check myself, and I think, okay, that's sort of right, I pretty got it like good, and then I opened the same file the next day, and I have to think, okay, where did I leave off the last time? And then I try to repeat the same thing over again, and it gets quite boring, and I never get to the end. You can see here that I was on line 2000, and now I'm on line 87. So it's about 3000 cards that I have. Basically each card is, the heading is a word in English, or sometimes there's like a Ukrainian hint, and the contents is the word in Dutch. Additionally, for instance, here first word is introduced, and the next one, this word is being used in a sentence or in a more complex structure, which I think also is nice. It also clarifies the way that you can use a word. So you can use this, yeah, for a lot of other stuff, for other languages, I guess. And let's see how it works, the workflow. So here I have a Dutch.org file, and here I have my package, pamparam. It's called pamparam because it's, I like this name. It's pam, it's root of the word remember in Ukrainian, and pamparam. So this package, it requires a couple of packages from Melpa, like Lisp and Wharf. You can get them easily. And otherwise it's not on Melpa yet. If you want to try it, just download it from my GitHub. So the way it works, I open the Dutch again, and you can see that this is quite a big file with the 8000 lines. And now suppose I want to synchronize all this stuff. As you can see here, nothing is extra. All the stuff here is like pure information. So for instance, I want to search for words that end in schap, and I see like I think it's quite nice. I have here all the stuff organized by subject or close words. They stand close together, so it's easier to understand what's going on. And there's no like card metadata, like okay, this is a card and I did it like 1 month ago and then I did it 3 weeks ago and stuff like that. That was part of a thing that I didn't like with org drill, which is also a spaced repetition software that for org mode, but it would record all this metadata in the file itself. And since the file is now 8,000 lines, if you add for each entry like 4 lines, then it quickly grows to like 20,000 lines or so, or even more. And then you're always like thinking, okay, the more I practice with this file, the larger it grows and the more unmanageable it becomes. And I didn't like this idea, so I wanted to make something on my own. So here's how I create the database or synchronize to the database from this master file. The only thing that you have, how it differs, like, okay, I explained to you the layout, and one important thing also to have here is to have the tag cards on the first level outline. So you can see I have the cards only twice here. Here I have the like expressions, which is you cannot translate the things literally, you just have to remember them. And here I have just the regular miscellaneous cards. So let's see, pam sync. And you can see it was really fast. It parsed, it went through the whole file. It checked if anything changed. And now it says, okay, I updated 0 cards and you have in total 3,100 cards about. Now let's suppose that I open this one and I say, okay, this E is extra, it's maybe wrong or something. I remove it and I synchronize again. Now it updates the, I think it updated one of the cards in place in the repository. So now let's see how exercising works like. Here I press the shortcut for pam drill. I can just press Ctrl+C+Y. By the way, you can see all my shortcuts over here. And immediately my window configuration changes to this schedule file, which is a list of all the card files that I have to do today, that are scheduled for today. And this is just a link, so clicking on this just opens the card. Each card is its own file in a repository somewhere. It doesn't matter too much. Let's see what we have actually in the thing. So this is just copy pasted from the master file, and here is the metadata hidden in the M heading. What this describes is, okay, on this date I did this card and I managed to get a 5, which is the best score, which means I knew the card well enough, and then it had to be repeated only 2 days after, and which I did again and got another 5. Then I suppose it was scheduled somewhere for September, but I was lazy in the last month and I didn't want to, didn't go through with the repetitions. So I just repeated it today and I got a 5 again. And here is the SuperMatMo algorithm. Basically it's kind of just a modification of a function which determines the ease by when you repeat the stuff and what kind of scores you have. So these intervals I expect to grow. So after the first repetition you get 1 day to repeat it. In 1 day you have to repeat it. Then the second repetition will be in 6 days. The third one is in 17 days. But if I was doing slower with the card, I would get more repetitions. Okay, so right now I can just exit Emacs. All of this will be saved. This is just a saved file. Let me show you how it looks like. So when I synchronized, when I did pam sync from my master file from Dutch.org, it looked only for the card tags, and it took all the headings from there, and it synchronized them into pampile, into cards, and cards just, okay, here's all the 3000 files in this directory, so it's a bit slow even on DRIT just to display them. I don't know, it seemed like a good idea at the time to put each card into its own file, because then, for instance, yeah, all this metadata, I don't feel bad about keeping all this history, just because, okay, it's a file, just a couple of lines extra, it's nice to see them, and I can even, it's all controlled in Git, I can even see the changes to this one as well, to have more information. And here we have a pile of cards that I haven't repeated once, and I can schedule them for the current day. So today is October 7th, and these are the cards that I have to do. Those are just links to the card files. So it's actually quite easy. Each time I repeat a card, the interval is being recomputed how many days from today I have to repeat it, and then, for instance, if I get a 6, then I get, okay, 7 plus 6 is 13, so I have to repeat it on October 13. Then we open a file, okay, there's a file 14, and so right now on October 14 I have to repeat just one thing. And then if I run out of things to repeat, I can actually learn new stuff by just pulling from this PAM file. So I can use the command, I don't know if it will work here, pam pull. How many cards? Okay, let's pull 5 cards from the pile. And you see that they are pasted from here, and they are removed from here. So everything that's going on is kind of transparent. Everything is being kept in files. So this kind of system, I mean, if you can actually write some tooling outside of Emacs to help you with this, I guess. But okay, let's try to repeat a few cards. I interrupted myself when I did that before. Okay, to incur. I don't actually remember what it's supposed to be like, so I press Shift Tab to reveal everything. Okay, open. So I enter the thing that's supposed to be here. This is my answer, and then I press dot to check it. And I'm given a score of 3, not 5. Although I entered the correct input, I had revealed the answer, so it's a bit like I cheated, because I was supposed to answer when this was hidden. But it's also very good for just learning the thing that you don't know. Instead of saying, okay, I don't know it at all, you reveal it and type it out, and I guess some mechanical memory of typing it helps a bit. And I don't say that, okay, it's so easy, things like that. Yeah, actually the thing is, why I couldn't answer this very well is because I just pulled it from the file, so I haven't repeated this even once. Let me just move this stuff around, move it here, do maybe one more. And as before, I can now quit and return to my like other activity, do anything else. I don't need this anymore. And then when I decide that I want to drill again, I just do this. Okay, so here homework is housework. Let's enter that. And here I get a 0 because I forgot the article. I was supposed to say het housewerk. And sometimes I think, okay, this is stupid. I don't really want to get a 0, so I press the R to restart the card and then erase the previous history, and I just put actually when I press R, I can just paste what I did before, and again I just go to the end of my entry, press the dot, and it's automatically checked. Now I'm happy with the way this card went, and I go to the next one by pressing N. Motorbike, I think it's the motor feet. Okay, nice. So third time I managed to repeat this, and this is how it goes on. Additional feature here is that I can commit my repository. I press big letter C, and we see here the message from Git. So I from the last change I did 3 cards. Let me just see what's going on here. So here we are in the Git repository of the stuff that I'm learning, and you see here that I what changed. These are the card files, and these are the schedule files. So the schedule file from today, it lost a few entries because they were moved to the schedule files of here, and then the cards got updated metadata, the date and the grade for the answer. Okay, so that's close to the finish actually. If you like to try this out, I think I provided enough information to describe what I'm doing here. I was putting off a bit publishing this project because it's not like completely finished and polished, but then I just saw a guy like looking for Emacs software for space repetition. I thought, okay, let me just make a suggestion. So hopefully I'll be more diligent in using this for memorizing more stuff. Maybe I won't make a 1 month break not using it at all, and hopefully this will I will have time to improve this code a bit. But even in the state it is right now, I'm actually quite happy using it. There's also a few bindings here you can check. Okay, so I could press Q just to bury the buffer. A means answer, R means redo, we covered this one. C means commit, R means reveal, and then I could also score, like make a score manually instead of making a score by checking my inputs. What else is here? There's also a doc for a quick introduction of how you can make your own master file and your own repository. I think it could be interesting just to show you how to do it, because okay, you saw that I have some huge org file called dash.org with some stuff in it. Maybe it's not clear completely how it's supposed to be, so let's just start from scratch and copy the example file that I have here. So this is the whole org file, and here we have one section on musical tastes and the other section is on Dutch words. As you can see before, this is the question and this is the answer. So when you will be drilled on it, this will be usually this will be shown and this will be hidden. And then if you type this correctly, then you get the best grade. So let's copy this and let's go to my downloads file, make a temp folder and make like a temp.org and paste this stuff here, and then say Dutch pam sync. Okay, so it says 7 new cards, 0 updated, 7 total, and here is the basically we were in temp, this master file remains untouched, and here is the repository called temp.pam, and this is a Git repository. Now it has just a single commit, with the message that we saw before. What's inside here? Here's the pile of cards. It contains the links to the 7 cards that are here. They were never scheduled or repeated, so I just press here pam schedule. Did it do anything? Okay. So you see it's the interface is not completely finished. I had to actually eval expression for this one. And then it moves what it did is, okay, suppose I just make this file empty, and the way it's supposed to work is I say pam pull, how many cards? Let's pull the maximum, or let's pull 5. Not everything. So I just pulled 5 cards from the pile, and 2 cards are left, so I can pull them maybe tomorrow. And then let's start the drill. So just by being in this directory, this means I will use this repository, so I'll press pam drill again. Coffee, okay, it's an easy one, so it's the coffee. And as you can see, so today's date, the grade, and this would be, if I made an error, this would be the text that I entered, so I know the typical errors that I usually make. So this gets the default ease factor, and it's scheduled for repetition tomorrow, 1 day plus from today. And it also nicely reveals to me the answer, so I'm sure that I did the right thing. Let's do the next card. Chocolate sprinkles, hagel, fla. Oops, I forgot the article again. So I can just say, okay, let's repeat it tomorrow, and I have a bad score, but I can redo this and say the hagel, fla. And then I get a score of 4 because, okay, it wasn't perfect. I did actually repeat. So this is the kind of automated grading that I like, that I don't have to decide. In other systems, I would have to grade myself, and here the system is grading me, so I think it's a bit nicer feeling. And you also can see that the item that I got wrong is scheduled for review, so I have to do it again today. So here let's do something different. Let's reveal the thing and then just type it out. And just for typing it out correctly, even that I can see it, I got a score of 3. Next one. U2. What am I supposed to type here? Meh. Okay. Whoops. Okay, it's fine. Dire Straits. That's a good band. And chocolate sprinkles. The hagel, fla. No. Okay, fine. So there's like a small bug. The thing is, it should not have been scheduled for the review. That is wrong. So the property of this file should be that everything here is only once. So that's another bug that I have to fix. Okay, got this one correct. It's marked as done, even though I entered it correctly on the first attempt. But since I had it revealed when I entered the thing, so it marked me as 3, and answers which are not 5 are scheduled again for today's review. And now I got it correct, so now it's marked done. And then let's do this one, and in the review stage I can reveal it and I won't be scheduled for review again. So now it's marked as done, and then I press N, and it says to me, okay, 5 cards learned review today and nothing more to do. Now for tomorrow I got scheduled the same 5 cards, because the first reschedule is always 1 day when the card is like brand new. And yeah, this is the way it works. So the next day I can just go to this directory, press Ctrl+C+Y again, and it will start a refresher on these cards, and that's the way it works. So thanks for watching, and bye bye.